This week's lesson is all about shape. And as you know, shape is one of the elements of art, one of our building blocks, basic building blocks of art. There's shape, line, color, texture, form, space, and value. And what we're going to do this week is go on a scavenger hunt for round circle shapes in your home. And then we're going to make some artwork with those circles. Before we begin the artwork, I want to show you some artwork by two artists. And I also shared this presentation with the Young 5 kindergarten and first graders because it talks about an artist, Paul Klee, from over 100 years ago, so artwork from a long time ago, and then comparing this artwork that uses shapes by Paul Klee with artwork that is more contemporary and was made recently that is also using shape. And this artwork was made by the artist Julie Meritu. And she is from Ethiopia originally. So I'm just going to show you some artwork by some artists using shapes, and then we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to show you some artwork by Paul Klee first. Here is one of his paintings, Rose Garden, from 1920. So it's 100 years ago that he painted this. A little bit about Paul Klee first. Here's a picture of him. He was born in Switzerland in 1879. He was a painter and he lived in Germany, worked in Germany for most of his life. He came from a musical family and that's what he was originally going to study, but then decided to study art instead. His style is a mix of expressionism, cubism, surrealism, reflects his love for music, his humor, and his interest in children's art. His art was also abstract. So pretty simple, used lots of shapes, bright colors, and they're not realistic. So abstract means just that. Lots of color, lots of shapes, and it doesn't look like real life. So here are two examples of abstract art by other abstract expressionist artists. Wassily Kandinsky, here on the left, Russian artist, and German artist Franz Marc. These were the original abstract painters. And as you can see, there's lots of lines and colors and shapes. And looking at it, it doesn't look like real life, but you might have an idea of what this could be about. So the painting on the left is called Sea Battle. And if you look really closely, you could maybe see a couple of ships here and the cannons firing. And this is a yellow cow. Obviously, there are no yellow cows in real life, but that is Franz Marc's take on a cow. And he loved to paint animals, and both of these artists have made really beautiful artwork. So now that we've reviewed abstract art, we can look at some more of Paul Klee's artwork. I think his pictures are very interesting. Here are a few. Again, there's lots of shapes, but it seems that he has used different ways of expressing himself with lots of lines as well. Again, you can probably tell what are a few things in these artworks. Maybe a building roof here. This could be a moon. There's some stars, so it's probably nighttime. I can see some stairs here. So these are cool to look at. So he used lots of different materials. This one is an oil painting, the red balloon. And this one he used pastels. and lots of different colors again. This one is very simplified. Here's some more. This one's a watercolor painting. And this one was made with tempera paint down here. So when I look at these artworks, I see lots of buildings. What do you think? I think there's maybe some windows here. You can see roofs. This one reminds me of a garden. Maybe steps leading up to a house. So these are pretty cool to look at. So when we make our artwork with shapes, you can make it look completely abstract, and it can just be shapes, or you can use the shapes to make something out of them, like here, buildings or other objects. So these would be abstract buildings because they don't look completely like real life, but they remind us of buildings or things in real life. Now this is an artist, Julie Meritou. She also uses shape in her artwork, but this artwork is from 2004. So I just really quickly want to show you artwork by an artist who is living and working now. She is from Ethiopia, and she moved here when she was young. Originally moved to Michigan. Her artwork is a lot about abstract landscapes or buildings, architecture. So this here, she is actually referencing the architecture of a stadium. So you can kind of see the lines that you would maybe see in a circular or oval stadium. These are supposed to be flags or maybe logos or advertisements or flags, country flags, like in an Olympic stadium. And so you can see she uses lots of different shapes to reference those things. And a lot of her artwork has deeper meaning, and she talks about the deeper meaning or the stories that different places have. And so those are the kind of things she wants people to know about her artwork. So now you know a little bit about shape in art from a long time ago and shape in artwork that was made recently. And so now we are going to make your artwork using shapes together. For this artwork, your challenge is to only use shapes. So you're going to look in your home for round things, for circles. And we're going to call this found round. So you're going to find round things. So here's some round things I found that make round shapes, circles. So we're going to trace these, do some overlapping, and make a composition with these. You can look at Miss Wise's link. She posted a presentation that talks about this project and also shows some student examples. So please take a look at those. There's lots of possibilities. You can just make this completely abstract, or you can put your shapes together to make something out of them. I'm using this orange construction paper. You can use white paper, whatever you like. So after you've made a composition that you like, you can trace it, you can color it. I actually found something that I'm going to make a rubbing with. I saw this in Miss Wise's presentation. So I found this little chainmail thing. We use this to clean our pan, our cast iron pan. I'm just going to put this underneath here. And I'm going to make a little bit of a rubbing with it in some of these spaces. So you might find some different textures you can do a rubbing with. Just going to do this in a couple of spaces. Maybe up here too. More. I like this texture. And then after that, I'm just gonna play around with different materials. I'm gonna use some Sharpie. Gonna do some shading, and here we go. Okay, so I kept this really simple. You can do whatever you like with this, as long as you're using circles and you are finding different round things in your home and you're using these and tracing these and adding color or adding shading and somehow making this look interesting. It can be abstract. You can build something with your circles. It is totally up to you. But I am looking forward to seeing what you come up with. So have fun. Here's what I made. And don't forget to post your work. Enjoy.